What's your assessment of this scheme now? We're hearing more and more about it, and in my mind, it appears to be unravelling.
I think they are learning some tough lessons that the Conservatives learned when they were in the process of trying to strike this deal with Rwanda, which would see the removal of asylum seekers to that third country, and it was subject, of course, to many challenges over the course of a number of years, which meant that before the Conservatives lost office in the last election, they were not able to enact that policy. And the Labour government may have felt that their process of trying to return people to France would be easier, but not a bit of it. We know that the human rights lawyers are very adept, and all the activist groups are just supremely sort of talented and able, if you like, to be able to work their way around all of the potential loopholes that they can to ensure the best possible outcome for those that they represent. They've been doing it for years. Frustrating attempts, of course, to return asylum seekers, not just even as part of the Rwanda deal, but just to return those asylum seekers who may have been turned down for asylum to their home countries. So it's a difficult path that Labour is now going to have to try to tread here as it looks to enact this deal with France. As minute a deal as it is, we know it's only in the first instance going to be a very small number of migrants who are sent over to France as part of this deal.
We appear to have very little control over who is returned to this country. In terms of the information we get about those individuals, oh, bless you.
Excuse me.
And in terms of the information that we send to the French about those we're sending over. So by my understanding, we have to send all the information we know about an individual that we want to deport back to France, whereas the French don't seem to have to send us the same level of information about those who are coming this way.
No, indeed. And we can give you some breaking news. Excuse me.
Dear. Must be pollen in
very
the air.
high pollen count down here in Dover today. I do apologise. We can give you some breaking news with regard to the situation out in the Channel today. If you like a direct response to the announcement that this deal between France and the UK for a returns agreement has been signed, well, people smugglers have begun pushing out hundreds of migrants into the English Channel. Again, the Border Force vessel Typhoon has just picked up the first load of around 60 migrants, we think. That's heading back to Dover Harbour now and should be here at Dover Harbour within the next half hour. And then the other Border Force vessel, Ranger, that's on duty today is out there picking up a second load of migrants. And our sources tell us that we are expecting more migrant boat launches today because the conditions are good, because the people smugglers know that on days like this, they can get across the Channel quite easy.
And we have already seen a huge number of people already attempt to make the journey today. It seems like if there was to be a deterrent effect of this small chance of being returned to France, at least how things are so far, we're not really seeing much evidence of that.
No, I mean, we might be a bit too soon in the process to, and the government, I'm sure, would argue that, to look at any tangible benefits in terms of a deterrent. But I think, you know, going forward, the calculation is always going to be that if you are sent across to the UK on a small boat, the chances of you being returned to France are very negligible, a 95% chance. It seems, in the first instance anyway, that you will not be returned to France. Those are very good odds for people who've paid thousands of pounds, who've travelled thousands of miles and taken many risks in that process. The likelihood, the small likelihood of being returned is one I don't think that's going to really deter anyone.
Yeah.
OK, well, Mark White, thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. Thank you for soldiering on through those sneezes. But I know it is involuntary, of course, because you do have a deep allergy to BS, and we're having to report, of course, on